Hey everybody, it's Ryan here. I want to talk to you about shoulder pain and shoulder impingement. Shoulder impingement is the most common shoulder problem seen amongst most people. Anyone who complains about their shoulder bothering them typically is impingement, and that just simply means that the supraspinatus is being pinched by the acromion process and the humerus, or there's just some stuff going on. I have a picture up so that you can see kind of what I'm talking about. Because you see that muscle, it's very small, and it's very easy for that muscle to get pinched. And for a lot of people, or I guess for everybody, the human body is extremely smart. It has a way of figuring out how to avoid pain until it can't anymore. It has a way of being able to get your hand above your head, whether you can do it in the best way or the least optimal way. Like for a lot of us, missing range of motion is very common because of our lifestyles. So we got this impingement, right? We have this issue in the shoulder where we have some pain, and that happens because of that supraspinatus getting pinched. Now, this is not for everybody. Understand that everyone's shoulder issue is a little bit different, but one of the big telltale signs of when someone comes to me with shoulder pain, I always try to figure out if it is impingement, and usually about 70%, 60% of the times it is. And what shoulder impingement, again, is just that supraspinatus pinching into that region. Sometimes if you notice that the bicep, if you look at the picture that I have up, the bicep kind of goes, the bicep tendon goes underneath there as well, and that can also get inflamed or pinched or whatever due to motions like too much pressing. Essentially, too much bad movement. I used to believe that a lot of pain had to do with bad movement, or not bad movement, it had to do with bad overhead pressing, just too much overhead pressing. And what I'm beginning to realize, it has a lot to do more with bad movement. You think about the best athletes, people who shoot basketballs, like basketball players, CrossFitters who do a lot of thrusters and stuff like that, Olympic lifters who do a ton of snatches. A lot of these people do get hurt, but it takes them a while to get hurt, or they train for a long time, for many years at a very high level. And why is that? Because they move really well. And only way you're going to be able to make any significant progress in your sport or anything that you're doing, you have to remain injury-free. And the first foundation of remaining injury-free is moving better. So, kind of going off a little tangent there. I hope you got some good stuff out of that little kind of mini rant or lecture. I'm going to talk to you about kind of how to fix your shoulder impingement, and just kind of some stuff to look at. I typically get shoulder impingement in this right shoulder. And what happened, one of the biggest reasons is if I were to put my palms out in front of you and I would turn both thumbs in, you can see how I can't get as much internal rotation in this side. Now I can easily just use my thumb to show it to misalign it, but then just giving you a basic example of my fingers, look at my thumbs here. When I turn both my thumbs down, you can see that my left side can turn down a lot more than my right, and because this is missing some internal rotation. So that's a root cause, one of the causes of having a problem, not having enough internal rotation. The next thing, taking a look at turning the palms up, and you can kind of see how just passive restriction, right? So this is passive flexibility. If I go like this, now you see how this palm kind of rotates a little bit more than this side. Now if I pull back and I pull my shoulder blades in a better position, I get a little bit more external rotation. It's kind of interesting how that works. The shoulder is able to move better. This is kind of the reason why when people have a shoulder problem or issue, the first thing you look at, or first thing you coach, or first thing you review is pulling your shoulders back. A client of mine, or friend, not a client, a friend, he's talking about his shoulder bothering him, giving him issues. And he was talking about how, and I told him because you're on the phone too much, right? You're on the phone too much, that's the reason why, on the phone. Talking on the phone, shoulder like this all the time. And then he said to me that he always uses his headset, and he seldom ever uses the phone anymore in his ear. And I said, so I told him, I asked him, so for the last 15 years of you using a phone, you had a headset. And he says, oh, now he understood what I was talking about, because it takes a really long time before something gives you a problem. It's not like, oh, I did that one thing, and then it caused me the problem. Sure, there could have been one thing that may have like kind of the proverbial broke the camel's back, but ultimately it's some sort of movement pattern problem that has led you to where you're at right now. But again, keep going in these tangents. Hopefully you guys are getting some good stuff from this. Is thumbs coming in, thumbs coming out. You can see how I'm missing internal and external rotation. So one of the best things to do to kind of fix this without any stretching at all is simply to smash the tissues. Getting like a little ball, a little baseball that I've used in other videos, or this lacrosse ball. And all I'm going to do is going to press it right here in the front of the delt and put a lot of pressure into this humerus, and just see if I can break up some tissue and see if that makes any improvement at all. So I'm going to go over here, right here into my squat rack. I'm going to press down into the front of the delt. All right, so if you can kind of see my delt here, this is my front of my shoulder. I got my chest right here, so kind of like somewhere in between, or maybe right on the delt. I press right on there. And if you have a lacrosse ball that's kind of sticky or tacky, you can kind of press the skin and twist it. and press down, and then you kind of roll in and out, just like this. So all I'm doing is breaking up tissue, trying to improve the fascia. Remember, muscle is surrounded in fascia, sort of like a sack, sort of, right? It's a sheath that's used to keep your muscles together, I guess. It does a lot of different things, and to be totally honest, I don't know all the principles about fascia. I just know that when you do this kind of stuff to it and you sort of punish it in this sort of way, do the soft tissue work, it helps improve the movement.